I don't quote scripture, I all did it. Margins bleed louder than sermons ever did. Gold dust on the pages, fingerprints in ash. Truth buried vertical, stacked beneath the past. They told you heaven was above your head. They didn't mention the basement, they didn't mention the locks. They didn't mention the rooms where God is footnoted and edited. The Vatican doesn't hide secrets with fire. Burning draws eyes, they hide them with reverence. Silence wrapped in incense and marble acoustics. You hear choirs, I hear redactions. You hear mercy, I hear curation. History isn't erased here. It's shelved out of reach, out of translation, out of context. Truth doesn't die in Rome, it's canonized selectively. Gospels that never made the cut, prophets who didn't fit the brand. Testimonies too human, too cosmic, too dangerous. Men who spoke of knowledge without priests, Christ without intermediaries, God without rent. They call it apocrypha. I call it competition if salvation is direct. The middleman starved, so they voted reality into shape. Ink decided eternity, hands trembling not from faith but from power. Every translation is an ambush, meaning doesn't survive intact. It limps through language. Greek shaved the Latin dress for kings. Kings rewritten in shepherds' words bent until obedience sounds holy, until submission rhymes with love. Fear God, replace understand God. Mystery marketed as virtue, questions labeled sin. Beneath the cross sits a legend, not a souls of narrative scrolls cataloging pre-flood knowledge. Maps older than empire, accounts of skies not empty. Civilizations erased with polite footnotes. They know how old the world is. They know how many times it burned. They know humanity isn't the first draft, but apocalypse sells better when it's scheduled.
They don't rule with swords, they rule with absolution. Guilt is the most efficient chain ever engineered. Make man sinful by default, self-forgiveness by subscription. Kings kneeled here, empires negotiated here. Wars baptized before the blood dried. This isn't faith, it's infrastructure. Belief routed through marble corridors, filtered, blessed, and taxed. They love the lamb, they fear the teacher. The Christ who flips tables doesn't test well. The Christ who teaches gnosis destabilizes hierarchy, so they soften them, sand them down, turn a revolutionary into a logo. Miracles emphasize, messages diluted. If you believe he died for you, you won't ask what he lived to say.
They control calendars, decide when history starts and ends. What counts as ancient, what qualifies as myth. Pre-Christian becomes pagan, advance becomes impossible. Evidence becomes allegory once time is owned. Truth becomes optional. Ask yourself why knowledge is always lost right before it threatens doctrine. Confession isn't spiritual, it's intelligence gathering centuries of psychological data indexed by shame. They know how fear behaves, how desire mutates, how guilt keeps populations obedient. The oldest surveillance system on earth runs on whispers behind. They preach one church, one truth, one path, but unity is just control with better light. And difference is danger, plurality is heresy. If God speaks in many voices, the throne trembles. So they centralize the divine and call it peace. Now the vaults are open, tours for tourists, controlled leaks, curated revelations. Enough truth to feel transparent, never enough to redraw the map. They release crumbs so no one asks for the loaf. I don't hate the faithful. Faith isn't the enemy, gatekeepers are the men who decided what God is allowed to say, what humanity is allowed to remember, what questions are allowed to live. This isn't in our religion, this ain't our monopoly on the sacred. If God is true, then truth doesn't need religion.